How are we doing, everyone? So I reached out to Fluval and asked them, could they send me this to review? And they kindly did. Actually, no they didn't. So this is the Fluval's new tank, the premium aquarium kit version. So I've never owned the original one, but I do know that this one is slightly bigger. As you see all the box there, there's a load of different information on it. So should we have a look inside? I'm not going to bother you with the unboxing of the actual box itself, but as I'm going through it, we'll have a look together. So if we look closely at this, here's some of the dimensions of it. As you can see, it is going to be 11 inches wide, well, that's 28 centimeters, 17 inches or 43 centimeters high, and depth wise it's 30 centimeters or 12 inches, and it is 6 US gallons or 22.7 litres. This being Fluval, you know it's going to be a good product, well made. So I've got most of it out of the boxes and it's really well packed together. And this is obviously going to be the lid, which is clear plastic. There's also a feed-in port, and inside here then is all the equipment. And then you've got the back. So there's this famous party trick. If you lift this up all the way across there and drop it down there, when the pump is on, then you'll be able to do a water change. And drop it back down. The difference between this one is as well, it's got that is stiff. Come out. There you go. So the pump connects on the bottom, and then you've got this fine filter pad, and that will make sure that the water flow isn't too harsh for your betta fish. In this compartment here is a diagonal bit, over on the back, and that is where you've got a fine filter pad with some carbon. I probably won't use that, but what I do like about this and what I've seen from other videos is that instead of you chucking the whole pad away, you keep the plastic frame. You just replace the filter pad, which has got the carbon in. So this is your main filter media, and it's quite a decent sized pad, so that will hold quite a bit of biomedia, beneficial bacteria. And there's your biomedia there. So yeah, it's really cool. So what I also like about this as well is look how thin those grooves are. You're not going to get your betta fish's tail trapped in any of these. I quite like the fact that as opposed to the flex, these don't go all the way down. So you can build your substrate up if you want and have it sloping down to have a bit more of an aquascape feel to it. There's the fill line for the water. The actual build quality on this is amazing. I do love Fluval. They do build products really well. As you can see, there's no sort of dodgy silicone. It's on these nice sturdy feet. But Dad, what about the lid, you might ask? Well, this is the lid. It's quite thin, but strong enough. I'm not going to take this off. Oh, I might as well. That's the feed-in port. It comes off completely. Thinking about it, it would have been quite nice if this had an actual hinge on it, I guess, where you could lift it up, or the other way around. But I don't think that makes a difference. That's just me nitpicking. It just sits on there. You see, it's quite sturdy. And I recommend lids, basically because betta fish like to jump out of tanks. Although saying that, I've never had one jump out of mine because I use floating plants, and I think that kind of helps them distinguish basically where the top of the tank is. But err on the safe side of caution and have a lid. So Fluval have thought about that, which is really cool. Ooh, so what's in the box? Well, first of all, you get handy instructions with everything, and I'm guessing, well, it says save these instructions, save them. But it'll tell you everything you need to know on how to set this up. Well, I've watched a few videos of this, so I'm pretty sure and I'm confident in what I'm doing. That one is your power lead. That one is an empty box. White box, oops, sugar. Oh, I didn't want to wreck that. I need to pull this back afterwards. That is the pump. Yes, the pump. The pump. So there is something good about this pump, apparently, from what I've seen. On the older models, I believe on this Betta tank, and maybe some of the Flex models as well, that this sits in the bottom of the tank. In fact, it sits right in the back of that bit by here, and it used to be notorious for vibrating, but this time, as you can see, they've cased it with like this rubber, so if it does start to wobble and vibrate, you're not going to get that annoying noise. What I like about this one as well is you can adjust the flow on the actual pump itself, because at one point I was considering getting a Fluval Flex, but then I thought to myself, maybe a bit big for one Betta fish, because I was looking at the 60 litre, and then I'd end up having to buy more fish. And the other thing that put me off is that their pump on that one doesn't come with this adjustable flow, which I think would be quite a useful upgrade for the future. With the pump, I believe you need to make sure it's kind of facing in that direction. So you would pull that out like so, connect that onto there, and feed it back down into the pump itself, into the chamber. Dope. This is the filter pad I was talking about. It should slot into the compartment diagonally all the way down. And what I was meaning was that you keep this plastic bit of the clip, but you replace this pad, which is like a fine filter pad with carbon. Here we have the heater. It's quite cool. It looks, again, Fluval product, really well built. The temperature is permanently set on this to 26. When I say permanent, it has got a thermostat sensor on it, so when it gets to 26 it will automatically shut off, so don't worry, you're not going to boil your fish. Like I said, that is really nice and cool, and that would slot in the back here along with that filter pad that I said about. It's quite dainty. It must be about, I don't know what wattage this is. Does it say? Let's have a look. Focus. No. I'll find out. And then finally we have the light. Quite lightweight. That's touch touch control, and it also comes with its own plug because it's USB, which is really cool. It's a bright enough light, I think, for growing some plants, but it's not too intense for your Betta fish, because apparently they don't like bright lights. And this just slots on here on the back, like so. It does spring. I thought to myself that this was going to be, you know, a bit flimsy and a bit breakable, but I think they've deliberately done it this kind of thin so that it doesn't snap. So it's got a little bit of a spring in it. Or you can pretend it's a diving board. Right, let's see how bright this light is. Ah, that's pretty neat. And that is pretty cool, to be honest with you. So there you have the Fluval Betta and Betta tank, I think, as well.